I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Clusiau, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
If you look at this beautiful setting behind me, that's Lake Miltona outside of Alexandria, Minnesota. We're here at the Woodland Resort, and what a beautiful place. I mean, you can see their rental boats and their shoreline. This is, even though it's kind of western central Minnesota, it's more like a North Woods setting with the trees, and there's just numerous lakes around here. I want to take and show you this place from some different aspects. We're going to, a little later on, we're going to introduce you to Steve and Michelle Russell, the owners of the lodge, and show you the facilities. It's just fantastic. We're going to get you out on the lake and do some fishing and show you just a little bit of what's available here, but hopefully we can show you enough that you'll want to add the Woodland Resort, Miltona Lake, to your next angling adventure. So what do you think there, Luke? You gonna get one for us? You fish off these docks a lot? He's concentrating. He doesn't want to talk to me right now. Hey, I'm here with Steve Russell. Him and his wife Michelle are the owners of Woodland Resort here. We're in just outside Alexandria, Minnesota. We're up here. Of course, you recognize this guy, Greg Clusiau, doing a number of different kinds of fishing. And we wanted to tell you a little bit about the place. They've been gracious enough to let us stay here. Beautiful place, Steve.
Thank you.
It's just tremendous. And we got shots of it, and I was looking at your rental boats and everything. Tell us, let's talk to the people. Tell us a little bit about the lodge and stuff.
Sure, it's a family resort that we have 8 cabins ranging in size from 1 to 4 bedrooms. And we really try to make it a focus on families coming up for fishing and fun on the lake.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful lake. It's Lake Miltona?
Correct, Lake Miltona.
And it's just a beautiful lake. It's about a 5,000 acre lake. You'd normally consider this, I guess, west central Minnesota.
Correct, yep.
But it's got kind of the feel of the North Woods here. A lot of times you get down in this section of Minnesota, this area of south, and people think of the farmland. That's not what we have here at all.
Right. You know, Miltona is unique also in that it's real clear water, depths up to 105 feet. And so you're right when you talk about it having almost a feel of a lake further north. You know, it does in that respect too. The water is amazing with its clarity.
Well, and you've got quite a few species of fish here too. I think what we're going to fish walleyes. We're going to do some pan fishing, crappies, bluegills. What else? You got muskies here.
A lot of muskie. This part of the state is known for having a natural population of largemouth bass.
Yeah.
So a lot of largemouth bass, some nice smallmouth bass. And then a few pike in here. So we got a little bit of everything.
You know, people don't realize that Minnesota actually has some of the best largemouth bass fishing in the country.
Absolutely.
It gets overlooked, you know, back in my bass fishing days, and this guy too fished a lot of tournaments, Greg did. But people don't realize there was one time when the average size and number of catch for largemouth bass was largest on BASS in Minnesota than any other state.
No kidding, yeah.
You don't catch any 10-pounders here, but you catch more 5-pounders than anywhere else in the world.
Absolutely, yeah.
People probably come up here. I know one of the reasons we're here is the walleyes. That's
Sure.
pretty good. Now, when people stay here, do they bring their own boats? Do they rent boats? Do they hire guides? How does it usually work?
You know, it's a little of all of that. A lot of folks will come up, and maybe if it's their first time on Lake Miltona, we'll suggest one of the guides. And they'll go out and spend a day or even a half day with one of the guides, get to know how to fish this lake, and then they can take off on one of our rental boats, or maybe they bring their own boat with them, and then that gives them a little bit of a leg up.
I know we're fishing with a couple of the guys. We're fishing with Chad, who's the panfish guide, and we're going to do try to go chase some bluegills and crappies and have a good time. We're going to fish with Ben, who's your walleye guide. He tells me it's been on fire lately. Now, do you typically get a lot of numbers of walleyes here, size, or both?
You know, we get a little bit of both. Lately, it seems like this time of year we're getting a lot of the 16 and 18-inch fish.
The ones that people love to catch because they make
bet.
those beautiful fillets. You know, the good Lord did a real disservice to walleyes when he made them taste so good.
Exactly, yeah.
But we'll go ahead.
Later on in the fall, we'll start to get into a little more of the big walleye, starting to feed real hard, and that's when we see a lot of those 8 and 10 pound walleye being caught.
A lot of 8 and 10. Would you like to come up for those? A lot of 8 and 10 pound walleyes come back.
It's close enough. It's full of muskies too.
Yeah, well, you hate doing that. Now, you and your wife, you run the resort here, and it's beautiful. We're going to show shots of the rooms. Let's talk a little bit. We're staying in a 3-bedroom cabin.
Right.
And the 3-bedroom, you've got some different styles. One we're staying in, I think it has a queen-size bed, a double bed, and 2 singles. Is that a typical type setup?
That's exactly the same for all of our 3-bedroom units. You're going to find the same bed configuration. Otherwise, a couple of them have big fieldstone fireplaces. One has a gas fireplace. Some have dishwashers. A lot of them have jacuzzis. So kind of a variety when it comes to the particular details.
And you have everything you said from 1 or 2 bedroom, is it?
1 bedroom on up to 4 bedrooms.
1 bedroom up to 4 bedrooms. So what kind of size of groups can you accommodate here?
Well, in one cabin, we can accommodate up to 14 people. But a lot of our families are that 3-generation family where grandpa and grandma are coming with all the parents and the grandkids. And we'll have groups of 35 or 40 people that make it their annual trip up to the lake.
That's real quick. Again, probably start getting busy around opening of fishing season in May. Stays busy through the fall. You open year round though, or?
We are open year round. Yep. Once about Christmas time comes around, then we start to get some of the ice fishermen coming up. We're on 500 miles of snowmobile trails. There's cross-country skiing 5 minutes from the resort. And then we talked about the winery, so there's lots of things to do in the winter as well.
All right, well, we better get back on the water and see if I can catch some fish too, because I'm watching him catch these and I'm getting a little jealous. So we'll get you back out and do some fishing. Fish on. Break the ice. He wants to prove to us there's fish here, so he had to hook one up right away.
Yep.
Nice little eye.
First fish of the morning.
Healthy fish, but at the same time, a little bit bigger would be nice, but
Yeah.
there you go, Greg.
Greg
got
hooked
another
up. Oh, there. And more of an eater size, Greg. That's what Greg's always thinking about his stomach, so.
Oh, it is pretty small.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little guy.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
on the fish. It didn't take long.
No, just been out a couple minutes, and now we got to sort through till we get a few bigger ones, but it's kind of nice right away. Know your technique is working, you know? There we go.
Atta boy.
That's a better one.
Yeah, it feels a
there you
little
go.
better. Well, it's not a perch anyway. I don't know if it's a big fish, but it's not so big. It's kind of little. I just put a little strain on him right away.
Perfect.
There we go. Good eating size. Another one for the fish fry.
Yep, perfect.
There we go. That's what we're looking for. We're trying to put a bunch in a live well so that we can have walleye dinner tonight. I'll get him in the live well.
Yep.
Oh, right here, right in front of me. I could have done that. If I was paying attention to where the live well was.
Yeah.
The whole goal today is to get a bunch of those to take back and have a great fish fry later on today. So stay tuned for the fish fry. So Ben, you've been guiding for what, like a decade on this lake?
Yep. It's been up and down. It's been a roller coaster, but loving it every day. I mean, you meet new people, you learn how they fish, and you get to adapt to that. Not everything you teach them is new to them, but they always teach you something. That's kind of the best part about the whole thing.
So you really know this lake, though. This has been your home water for that whole time.
Yep. For them 10 years, I mean, it's been great. I mean, the fish that are here from every year, I mean, you catch, like we're catching now, you catch those, you catch big fish, you catch them eaters. I mean, they're all here.
This is a really nice size lake. It's a little over 5,000 acres.
Yep.
So it's big enough where you can get away from other boats. You can have some areas to yourself, lots of spots to fish.
Right.
But it's not where you're going to get caught out somewhere in a storm 10 miles from shore. You can get back fairly quickly.
Yep.
You can pick people right up at the resort, Woodland Resort, where we're
Yep.
staying here. This is your home. You love it. You're on the water following these fish.
Yep.
So what's the seasons? What do you guide? Do you guide in winter too, or is it summer, open water? Or?
It's mostly open water. The opener usually starts right around that Mother's Day weekend, that first, second weekend in May there. All depends upon what the state decides to do. And then you get your peak times and you get your slow times, but the slow times also can be your peak times as far as fishing and the quality of fish. But October, that September, October, them months in there are good, just as good as May and June. So, I mean, don't be afraid to come on vacation in July. You can do your water sports. You can go fishing early mornings, late evenings, because that's when you get them 14-hour days. You can fish them 2-3 hours in the morning and still enjoy the whole part of the day.
And they've got a nice beach at the resort.
Yes.
They've got a swimming platform. They've got just all kinds of activities there, and there's lots to do in the area here.
Yep.
So you can get a lot, because it can be a whole, and the Woodland Resort really focuses on family vacations too. So it's a great lake to come out and you can fish for numbers of fish, or you can chase big fish. If I specifically want to come out here to chase big fish, when would I come?
I'd probably come like that late May, that first part of June, and then you can get into that early part of October, mid-October, all the way up till ice freeze.
You got some pictures of some of those big fish?
I do. I have some nice fish that we usually catch in the spring, as in the fall, which I have some pictures of snow on the docks when we go out fishing. I mean, it's pretty amazing when you pull up to the boat landing and there's fresh snow on the dock.
We'll flash a few pictures of some of those big fish, since we're not really chasing big fish today. We're looking for eater-sized fish, and show you the quality of fish that can come out of this lake. Ooh, hooked up.
Feels a little nicer.
Yeah. Now we're starting upgrading that size a little bit. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Those nice, chunky, fish stick sized fillets that'll be battered up and taste so good. He heard he's invited to dinner, didn't want to go. Oh, there we go. Well, we've been out, I think we've been fishing for about 10 minutes, Chad, and got a beautiful bluegill, and Greg's got something. Look at him nurse side. You think he had a muskie on. Ooh, that's
Lord.
nice crappie.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, awesome.
Good crappie.
Wow. You know, one of the things about taking people out to fish for panfish, Chad, is the fact that the action can be really steady.
It can be steady all day.
You know, people go after big pike. They'll come up to Minnesota to go after muskies, and of course everybody likes to come up here and walleye fish. But crappies, bluegills, panfish, that's kind of your specialty.
That's my specialty.
And I'll tell you what, it's, first of all, they're really fun. The action is steady, and they're so good to eat. He's got one. Ooh, that's...
Got trouble with that all reel.
Oh. Bring the boat over close. That's nice sunfish.
Nice bluegill.
Oh, nice panfish. Well, you start getting bluegills and crappies in that size, and you're having fun. They're pulling on those ultralight rods.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, they pound for pound, these guys, I mean, they put up a great fight. Almost kind of reminds you of smallies, I mean, the way they fight.
Well, I think a big bluegill or a big crappie could probably, if pound for pound, they probably outpull.
They do.
Even a smallmouth. It's just they don't get as big as smallmouth for the most part, but they'll, panfish are, you know, well, we said it before, panfish, there's a bunch of things. First of all, they're cooperative. When you find them, the bite is steady, and a lot of people just want steady action, and that's what panfish bring you. You come out here if you just want to have a relaxing day. What a beautiful day. I mean, we're out here, some deer came along the shore. We're catching one fish after another. And this is such a great, you can stay at the lodge, come out for half a day, catch a bunch of panfish. And if you want to keep some, if you don't, that's, oh, I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. You and Greg are kicking my butt. But it's just a great way to spend a day. And then we talked before about the lodge being really family oriented.
It is.
What a way to come out and spend some time with your son or daughter and bond. I mean, you don't have to talk about life or what's going on. Just catch some panfish and...
you kind of forget about all the problems when you're out fishing. You know, you concentrate on fishing and you just kind of let everything else kind of go on the wayside. One
of the things you love to do is teach people how to catch these fish. Somebody coming up here to stay, even if they're going to bring their boat or rent a boat, they spend a day in the water with you. You can teach them just so much. They can just go out and have fun.
That's right. I mean, when I spend at least a 4 or 5 hour period of time with them and just kind of show them what to look for, where to kind of look, and just, you know, jigging techniques, bait, anything like that, that'll help them be more successful in the water. That's what it's really about, is to get those people to get more involved with fishing.
Well, I think people hire a guide for 2 reasons, and I think sometimes they put too much emphasis on just catching fish. You know, it's one thing if you're going up to Alaska and it's once in a lifetime trip or something. You want a guide that's going to take, oh, hooked up again, take and put you on the fish, and you want to make the most of that trip. But a lot of people, when you're coming to places like northern Minnesota, up in southern Canada, or across the country, we see this with fly fishing guides in Colorado all the time. The #1 purpose may be just to learn from that. Spend time and soak up that knowledge. And most guides, and I know you're included in this, really love to share that knowledge. They really want to teach you something. Whatever the bite is, hot or not, you want them to go away feeling that they really came away from that day learning something. There we go. Oh, yeah. I think this is what we've been looking for. Nice crappie. Oh yeah. You got one too?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Crappie?
Yep.
Let's double. Let's double them up.
There we go.
Whoa!
Here's a little bit nicer.
Crappie time.
There you go.
You notice
Alexandria crappies.
Mine is way bigger.
Well, of course. You got to let the customers always have the bigger fish.
Nice fish. These are beautiful crappies. That's great.
You got to love the colors.
Oh, I love it. Crappies are such an awesome fish. I want to get this back in the water because we're not keeping any today. Swim away. There he goes. Thought I stunned him for a minute, or her. That was probably big enough to be a her.
Yeah, that was probably a good female right there.
Good job. Let's get back down and get some more.
All right, no problem.
Ooh, it's pulling good. Crappie, you think? Whatever it is, you're overmatched on that rod. That's a neat thing about pan fishing with ultralight gear. You get into something that's got some size at all, and you just got a fight on your hands. Come on, Chad, it's a half-hour show.
I'm trying, folks.
Can't take 20 minutes to land one fish.
We'll be right back after this commercial moment.
All right, I like that. This guy's gonna go places.
Oh,
what?
It is.
Is that big northern?
It is.
How big?
Big.
This is a big, big northern pike. We're gonna reel in. We'll land it. If you can get it to the boat, we can land it. Got him! Oh yeah.
There you go, folks.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Oh, so you come pan fishing with Chad up here outside of Alexandria, Minnesota. Give me a plier so I can get this hook out of him before I try to pick him up.
There you go.
And you're liable to end up with something like this. Ready?
Yep.
That's what you can get. You come pan fishing outside of Lake Alexandria with Chad. You might get some bluegills, you might get some big crappies, and you might get a bass or two, or you might get one of these to really spice up your life.
You know, for all the crappie fishing I do, I would probably say that is the biggest northern I've caught. And,
there she goes.
I mean, I've caught, you know, 20s to 25 and 25-inch northerns, but nothing that big.
Woodland Resort, Alexandria, Minnesota. You can come walleye fishing, you can come bass fishing, you can come crappie, you can come sunfish, and you just never know what you're going to catch. You just spend a day with these guys out here. Chad will put you on big crappies. He'll put you have the most fun catching panfish all day long and just have a blast. But at any time, I caught a nice bass earlier today. We caught a number of species of fish. You got some pike, and you just never know what's going to happen. Thank you, my friend.
Not a problem, Terry. Appreciate it.
Greg, thanks for another episode.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Greg?
Thanks, Chad.
You bet.
Add the Alexandria area Woodland Resort to your next trip and join us next week on Angling Adventures Television.